Superstars, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and I couldn't wait, baby, to get back here with you guys on the channel and in the huddle. I am so excited to be with you guys today because I got another amazing topic to bring your way. So I couldn't wait to get back. Thank you so much for joining me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to see Coach Wood. You decided to come by the Before You Go Pro channel, and you decided to spend some time with us. So we truly are grateful and appreciative for you stopping by. Also, next time, bring a friend, share the link, make sure that you help spread the good news, you guys, because this is where we talk football. This is where we separate. This is where we build our community, you guys, and you're a huge part of that. Also, if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. I'm Coach Wood. This is the Weekday Huddle, where we talk about the topics that pertain to the football players, the families of football players, and the coaches, fans out there. So hit that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever we release new content on behalf of Before You Go Pro. We also have some special resources for you down in the description box. Take care of that. Make sure you check those out because it may be something to help you get over the top. Get over the top in your career and get to the next level, baby. But today's topic, you guys, we want to get right into it because this is something that we constantly are talking to our athletes about with Before You Go Pro. Part of the business is managing emotions, helping athletes and their families realize the timelines and realize the strategies that need to be in place so that they can get the things that they want. And one thing is always, because Before You Go Pro isn't about the 5 and the 4 and even the high 3-star. We have had all of those type of kids before, but that's not what we're about, you guys. We're about the diamond in the rough. And when you're about the diamond in the rough, you guys, sometimes you may have a young man that's on the back burner a little bit. Sometimes you may have a young man that's having to wait for what he deserves. All of our athletes are talented. All of them have skill. They work hard. Yes, sir, no, sir type of guys. But they're the type of athletes that are typically going to have to find their way just to get one. Just to get one or two options on their table. But once they get to college, then that's when they flourish. That's when they sprout. And then that's when everybody realizes what we already knew, that they got a diamond in the rough. Just like this guy. Jacob De Jesus, who was somebody that was passed over multiple times coming out of high school, multiple times coming out of junior college. But guess what? The NFL isn't going to pass him by because he was the only one in the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, Big Bad Power 4, that was listed in 2 positions on the ACC team. He was listed as a kick returner and he was also listed as a wide receiver. But years prior, nobody wanted to give him a shot because he's 5'0". So that's a Before You Go Pro athlete. The athlete that we know is fire. The athlete that we know is a baller, a go-getter. But not everybody else knows it yet. So sometimes our athletes are a little bit behind the 8 ball, or at least they feel like they're behind the 8 ball with the timelines on recruiting. So if you are a high school or a junior college football player, especially if you're watching this and your graduating class is up and you're feeling like things are a little behind, or the phone isn't ringing like it should be, this Weekday Huddle episode is specifically for you. This Weekday Huddle episode is specifically for the young man that's feeling that way. Because guess what? We always get asked the question, Coach, is there still enough time? Is there enough time for me to get the Division I, the Division II a scholarship offer? Is there enough time for me to get a PWO? All I need is a roster spot, Coach. Is there enough time? Well, at the time of the recording of this Weekday Huddle episode, we have just hit the first week in March. And guess what? There is still enough time. Now, if you were to ask me, are there a plethora of schools still looking for talent? Is there just anyone that I can choose from? No, that's not the case. But a select few of schools are looking for talent 100%. We're talking to schools daily. They are looking for talent. It's the beginning of March. They're going to need talent in 2026, right when the fall starts. And you will be on the team with option in back pocket ready to go. But you may have to wait. And it may not just be March. You may have to wait till April. Last year, we had multiple athletes sign in May, commit in May to a PWO. And that's the latest it typically gets. We actually had a young man, shout out Anthony Taylor, commit to a PWO at FCS Tennessee State, I think maybe 3 weeks before training camp last year. So I've seen it all in my 20 years of serving athletes and helping them get from high school and junior college to a university. I've seen an athlete go to Division I UNLV that was in contact with UNLV, lost contact for 6 months with UNLV, and then all of a sudden they called about the blue and offered that day and said, we need to know now. I've seen it all, you guys. So when you ask, is there still time? Well, check out this. This is a text from Coach Zach Bruce at Eastern Washington, and we had some athletes that they were looking at as PWOs. There was a coaching change, so we got in contact with Coach Bruce, and you probably can't see this on my phone, but you see the name at the top. See if you can see the name at the top. Right there. And I'll put on the screen what the message was. Now, unfortunately, he was saying at the moment they are full. There are no spots to his knowledge at the moment. Once again, we're talking early March, right before spring ball, right? Right before spring ball. But then he goes on to say, we are full right now, but there's always movement happening. Send me the names and I'll take a look anyway. So this is a Division I coach saying there is always. He didn't say there may be. He said I doubt there will be. He said there is always movement. So this message for you guys today is that I can guarantee you guys, once again, 20 years of doing this, and then I lived it. You see my helmet, my bonnet back there in the background. So I've lived what you guys are going through. I know how you feel, and then for 20 years have helped athletes get to the next level. There's always time. There's always options. Now, does that mean you don't need a plan B, a plan C? No, you always want to have a plan B and a plan C. But guess what? These schools are always looking. They never stop looking. You guys may see on Twitter, you may see on social media that, hey, we're moving on to the next class. Hey, the 27s are up. We're looking for you. They're looking for the younger ones. And you're feeling like it's done. For that, all that means is it's done today. That when that school says that means it's probably done just for today. They're not even they're not looking for large masses of kids. As a whole class, they've moved on to the next class. But what they're not going to say on Twitter, what they're not going to say on an Instagram DM, or what they're not going to say maybe even on a phone call is that, yeah, you know what? We actually do have one more spot left for a D lineman. Or we do got 2 more spots. We are looking for a couple linebackers. I talked to Middle Tennessee, and they said, hey, we have kids coming on campus on an official visit. If they commit, we'll be done. But if for some reason they don't, we'll have spots. We've had other schools, Pioneer Conference, saying, hey, we're under 105. We know we're going to bring in some athletes, or we're going to be looking for some more, but it's going to be after spring ball. We're busy. So I can guarantee you guys that about 4 to 5 spots will be available on any given team that you can name in college football. And why would 4 to 5 spots be available, Coach? after the 2 signing days, after the transfer portal. Now they're going into spring ball, coach. They told me they were full before spring ball. Why would 4 to 5 spots be available on every team? And for some teams, it's going to be even more. But you want to know why 4 to 5 spots are going to be available? Because you're going to have some athlete that can't hang academically. You're going to have some athlete, and it's been happening in Georgia, shout out Bulldogs a lot, that have been arrested and done something bad socially. You're going to have some athletes that just want to hang it up. And then what's been reported is even though there is no spring transfer portal, you're still going to have some athletes that don't like how spring ball went down, and they just withdraw. They just withdraw from the school, and they go get their NIL money from another school, and they just pay out of pocket to go to another school and walk on, so to speak. So you're going to have 4 to 5, if not more, you guys, kids leave teams as they get to and through spring ball. It happened last year, and it's going to happen again this year. Plus, there's some coaching staffs that got hired late, and they're just filling out their staff. They haven't fully closed out on recruiting. They got to do a little bit, but they didn't get to fully close out on recruiting. Their team is sitting at 99. Their team is sitting at 100. So there are always, you saw what Coach Bruce said, there are always spots available. Look at some of these athletes from before you go pro in the past. Look at some of the dates when they signed. So we had to do this weekday huddle, you guys, because sometimes we have our own perceptions. We see things, but we're not in it. We're not in the industry decade for decade. So you may not know everything. And you may feel like it's over. You got people that aren't optimists around you that are saying, hey, you know what? Yours isn't coming or it's over. But like Coach Bruce said, there's always movement. This is college football, baby. There is always movement. There's going to be movement at the FBS Power 4 level. There's going to be movement at the FBS Group of 5 level, the FCS level, the D2 level, the D3 level, and the NAIA level. There's going to be movement, you guys, especially as a lot of these athletes find out their fate on the team this spring and they don't like what they see. All right. So that makes it tough because you're wondering if you should wait. If you should wait should be dependent upon your strategy, dependent upon the type of support and consultation you have, whoever you're listening to. Don't do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. You know, so get some help so that you can have a strategy. So if yours comes late, you're great. But even if for some reason it doesn't come late, you got a plan B and a plan C. All right. But you guys, hey, I've been doing this a very long time. There will be multiple teams that are still bringing guys on, scholarship and PWO at all levels of college football throughout the spring. It is what it is. Now, some of you guys will have to strategize because there may be some schools asking you academically if you're coming or not. That's strategy talk. That's strategy talk. All right. So get some help with that. But as far as just the question, hey, will any schools be looking for talent in the spring? Is it all done? We just hit the first week of March. Is it all done, Coach? We showed you plenty of examples of our very own players and some of the dates that they signed. And then we just showed you a D1 coach saying, there's always movement. Send me the film. So you guys, hopefully you're having a great time learning, joining me for these weekday huddles and getting after it. This is all geared towards making sure you guys are smart in this industry and making sure you get what you want. Okay. I'm Coach Wood. Hit that subscribe button. Check out what we got down in the description box, and I'll see you at the top.